Please don't bother me, I'm on my lunch break. Pizza, burger, sandwich, lunch break, tofu, salad, hot dog, lunch break.
So what did everyone have for lunch today? Connor, we'll start with you.
I went to Subway, which I think is what I did last time I was on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was.
What kind of sandwich did you get?
Ham and cheese, and I get lettuce, onions, some cucumbers.
Do they have different types of cheese at, or is it just provolone? It's been
So
so.
they have
different kinds.
what they don't have, which I wish they had, is I wish they had Swiss cheese. But for some reason, they don't even have
That would
Swiss
be good.
cheese.
You would think they would.
It's been so long since I've been to a Subway that because whenever I went there, I think they had provolone, and then
They have like pepper jack,
Yeah.
American,
Cheddar.
probably.
I think so. And Kathleen, what did you have for lunch?
I went to Butcher and Brew.
Oh yeah, How was it?
It's good.
Yeah.
I had the paleo bowl.
Oh,
Not that I am paleo.
What is the paleo diet?
Good question.
Is it the one where you have to eat a lot of meat?
so
Isn't it like what the caveman ate?
Yeah.
Ate?
So I don't think it's anything like farmed, like nothing, or no, not
Processed?
processed
Okay.
or gluten.
Okay.
So you can eat fruits and vegetables, even though those are grown, but I guess those are found in the wild,
Right.
just
Yeah.
not regularly cultivated. I don't think you can eat corn.
Yeah, because we make corn, right?
Well, I mean, no.
No.
I think it's just the nutrient content. There really isn't a
Oh.
lot of.
I think I'm thinking like high fructose corns. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Well, that's what we use a lot of our corn for.
yeah.
Or like those fruits that are like multiple fruits, like smashed into one. Like they'll take like
Are you talking about fruit snacks?
cranberries, like the ones where it's like a peach and an apple.
Sure.
And it's like a peach apple thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I have never heard of that.
I've
I
seen.
have.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the cotton candy grapes?
No, but I
They're
would
not that
try
good.
it. Okay, I would
They're
try
not.
it though.
Yeah, so the paleo bowl is what I always get. It has sweet potato, red bell pepper, broccolini.
That's like the
And-
small broccoli.
Yeah, like the long, kind of like asparagus broccoli.
Sure. Do you want to know what I had for lunch?
I do. Was it Taco Bell?
AJ,
No.
what did you have for lunch?
I had leftovers. I made pork loin. Pork tenderloin. It was the long pork.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Sure.
Well, Kathleen, you wouldn't. I made
No, she doesn't eat it.
No.
I made it in the Instant Pot last night. So first you sear it in the Instant Pot because you can do that, and then you pressure cook it for 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
Do you like your Instant Pot?
Yes, it makes it so much easier because you just throw everything
Is
in
that like
there.
a crock pot?
Yeah. So it's like 7 in 1. So one of the features is a crock pot where you could
Okay.
slow cook, but you can also pressure cook, which cuts down on the time.
Okay.
Like we made spaghetti squash a couple months ago whenever we first got it. And instead of taking an hour, it took like 20 minutes.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So welcome to another episode of Lunch Break. That was a long
Wait,
intro.
have we been recording this whole
Yes.
time?
Yes, we
Oh.
have. This is Lunch Break, a comedy podcast about food. I'm AJ.
I'm Kathleen.
And joining us again, back by popular demand, is Connor Evans.
They've run out of other guests, so they just keep bringing me back. This is my last day in the office.
I was going to say that. You're stepping on my lines. Yes, this is Connor's last day before he goes back to Richmond. Well, are you going... Do you have some lead time before you go back to school?
Yeah, so this is my last day working here, and then my last day bartending at the country club I work at is Saturday.
You bartend?
I do.
Oh.
It's
I
my
didn't-
second summer bartending.
You're only 19.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you can serve it, but
Yes.
you can't consume it.
You can serve at 18.
That makes no sense.
It doesn't, but it is legal in Georgia. Different states have different laws about
Do you
it.
enjoy bartending?
It's all right. I mean, sometimes it's boring, or like sometimes people are just like annoying. But I mean, it's a good gig.
No.
I can't complain.
How are they annoying? Do you
I
want to
mean-
call people out?
They get
I'm not
drunk?
gonna call. Well, sometimes that is an issue where that annoys me if they're being like I don't know, if they're just really far gone and
Yeah.
being annoying at the bar. Like I get tired of that kind of behavior pretty quickly because like
Sure.
I also don't really drink, so I feel
Well-
like
Well, yeah, it's illegal.
It's illegal, so you've never had a
Yes.
drop of alcohol in your life.
correct.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like I have less patience for that than some people do.
Do you make like the same drinks over and over?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it's not like a super long menu because I work at the pool. So the bar is a pretty small area. It's just like this little tiki hut.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you make tiki drinks?
Yeah, like a lot of fruity, sort of beachy drinks.
Like a Mai Tai?
Right.
Pina colada,
right.
daiquiris.
Screwdriver?
Exactly. Yeah,
Have you
stuff
ever
like that.
made a painkiller?
Yeah, actually, I was about to mention that one because that's like our most popular cocktail, probably.
Okay. Yeah. It's with cream of coconut, right?
Yeah, well, we don't make it with the cream of coconut. We kind of simplify it, so we just use like a couple of different Malibu coconut rums and then put like orange juice and pineapple juice and then nutmeg on top.
What is your wildest story?
Give us some dirty details.
Okay, well, my wildest story working at the pool actually came before I started bartending. So I've worked there 4 years now, and so I sort of graduated to being a bartender. But 2 summers ago, we had a bartender named, we'll call him Steve.
Sure.
And Steve lied habitually. So some of the smaller things he lied about were like, he claimed that he had a UGA baseball scholarship, but that he got injured, and so he lost his scholarship and all this stuff, but he just wanted to make it seem like he was this great athlete, and then we found out that that wasn't true. He lied about just being late for work for different reasons. Like, he did the thing where he claimed his grandma got in a car accident, and that's why he couldn't come in. And that was wild because that just wasn't true. I mean, he lied about everything.
That's pretty
the
pimpy.
craziest
Yeah,
thing,
bad.
though, in my opinion, was he, like, throughout the whole summer, lied about having this girlfriend and then said, like, they got engaged. It went as far to the point where he said they were about to get married. And then, you know, they couldn't get married because there would have been proof of that, right? So he had to figure out a way to claim that they didn't get married.
One would assume that this fiance would have come by the country club at some point.
Sure.
So
or that there would be Facebook
be
evidence of
pictures,
her.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the weekend that he had told all of us that he was going to get married, he comes back and he says that he got left at the altar.
Oh my gosh.
And he even like bought a ring for himself, like, because eventually, you know, we find out the girl's name, and so we look her up on Facebook, and she was actually the fiance of like either his brother's fiance or like his best friend's fiance.
Oh, man.
So this guy, I mean,
Trying to live
He has a
vicariously
problem.
through another person.
How
Yeah.
old is Steve? Or
he was
he?
like mid-20s, like early to mid-20s, like out of college, I think. So probably like 23, 24, around that age.
Have you talked to him since then?
Oh, no.
Did he
did
get
not-
fired or did he?
I don't actually know if he got fired or not, but he definitely was not working there after that summer. So
Yeah, he was
I've not
busy
seen him since then.
honeymooning.
Yeah.
Yeah, or not, tending to his broken heart after being left
Oh,
at
yeah.
the altar.
So you're finishing up next week at
Yes.
at the country club.
So I'll
and-
have a week until I actually go back to school.
So, well, that's exciting. And the reason that we brought you on the show today, or the assignment that we gave you today, it's going to be a presidential episode.
Yes.
And we are talking about the different diets of different presidents over the years. And actually, I don't know if I prefaced this, but the reason that we're doing this topic today is we had a listener comment that we should do this topic. So
Shout out.
Cool.
to shout out to Aldo, our super fan.
Cool.
So thank you to Aldo for giving us this topic today. And with that, Connor, I'll let you jump into it.
We'll start with the oldest president on this list, which is Abraham Lincoln.
We didn't want to start with number one
Right.
because,
We
I mean,
wanted-
who cares about George Washington?
yeah.
Though-
I mean, he had wooden teeth,
So
he
you
probably
couldn't find
couldn't eat
anything.
much.
Actually, I did do a quick Google search about George Washington, and he was a fan of cherries because he
yeah.
chopped down the cherry tree, but he was a fan of cherries and cherry pie. And I guess he used to host events at Martha's Vineyard. That's his house.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And it was funny how they were talking about it because it was all, leg of lamb and all this, suckling pig and all this various meats and pheasant. And it just sounded very regal and different from what presidents eat these days.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or I guess we'll find out.
We will be
Maybe.
moving. We will be moving from Abraham Lincoln, who was one of our thinnest presidents and ate very little, to William Howard Taft, who famously may or may not have gotten stuck in a bathtub due to his large size. And then we'll be moving to more recent times with our previous president, Barack Obama. So, starting with Abraham Lincoln, his mother died when he was only 9 years old. I don't know why
what a way to start.
Yeah.
AJ started laughing after I said that.
Because what a way to start.
Well, because
On a happy note.
this meant that he had to learn more than other boys his age how to cook. Because, of course, at this time, it was more traditional that the woman in the family would cook. And so Abraham Lincoln had an affinity for cooking that was sort of unusual for a lot of men in his day and age.
When I was a boy, I did not cook. Actually,
I still don't cook.
my favorite. So I started cooking, quote unquote, in junior high. I used to make pancakes after school. I made like double, triple chocolate pancakes, and I would, mix the batter, and then I put chocolate syrup in the batter, and then I'd put chocolate chips in the batter, and then I would put chocolate syrup on top of it after the fact. So I'm guessing that is similar to what Abe Lincoln, Honest Abe, was making.
In fact, he
Chocolate pancakes.
he did
you're
not
right.
he did not eat a lot of sweets from what I can tell.
Bummer.
I'm not even sure if they had pancakes and chocolate syrup in the same way that we have now. But this isn't necessarily research. Well, okay, so he ate. He did. I could find that he ate apples just about every day. He loved apples.
An apple a day
I
keeps
have
the
it
doctor away.
Right. I wonder. That was my next point. Do you think that phrase comes from Abraham Lincoln?
It does.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh.
I don't. Well, I thought you had. I thought you had the proof to back it up, but
No,
I was going into the
posing-
camp of.
I'm posing that question because I have loved apples twice in my notes because that's
Sure.
what it
Was
talked
he
about.
healthy? Very healthy?
I mean, he was pretty healthy, and he didn't die of heart disease exactly.
Then there
so-
you go. Sure. Let's say yes.
I have been to Abraham Lincoln's house in Springfield because he was from. Well, he didn't. He was from Illinois, or he was born in Kentucky. I think was a boy in Indiana,
Yeah.
and then Illinois is the land of Lincoln. That is the
He ran for senator there.
yeah. And so he was something. Well, he was a lawyer, and he had a house in Springfield, and I've been to it. I've been inside of it.
Cool.
And it was where the Republican National Committee or National Party asked him to run to be president.
Oh wow.
I was in that room.
When
Very
it
cool.
happened.
Yeah.
Well, another funny food story from Abraham Lincoln. This one's actually funny, unlike the other ones.
I like the other one.
So he loved oysters, apparently.
Have you heard about oysters? Do you know about what
Yeah.
they say about oysters?
Yeah.
What do they say about oysters, AJ?
That they're good. They taste real good.
That's also what Abraham Lincoln. Maybe that also comes from Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln said that they're good.
Yeah, he said that they're very good. And
No.
so after.
All of his catchphrases.
But in reality, they're an aphrodisiac.
Oh, really?
You
So-
didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
I thought that's where you were going.
No, this is totally different. After I believe his second inauguration, he wanted a bunch of oysters at the party. And I guess they were very popular. Maybe they were some sort of delicacy at the time because there weren't enough oysters and there wasn't enough food in general at this
Inauguration?
after-party. Yeah, at the after party of the inauguration.
That's the worst when there's not enough food at
And
a party.
so apparently people just made an entire mess. Like the floors were described as being extremely like sticky and just gross, and people were just like fighting over these oysters.
Sticky from what?
From like the food and
Okay.
juices and stuff like that. So yeah, it was like a whole debacle after his second inauguration because he wanted oysters and it was difficult to get them.
Are you a fan of oysters?
I haven't really. I don't know if I've ever had oysters. I've had mussels. Are those pretty similar?
They're similar. And Kathleen, you don't eat seafood.
No.
Okay.
I've never tried oysters or anything.
They're really
I think I've had fried oysters.
Yeah, I mean anything fried is generally pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you get fresh oysters, there is Six Below, 6 Feet Under,
Oh,
across the street from Oakland Cemetery in Atlanta. It's a seafood place,
Okay.
but they have really good oysters. I wonder why they were such a big deal back then.
I don't know, but they made a big fuss about it.
DC is not on the coast, is it?
I mean,
Well,
it's
it's close.
It's close. It's on a river, I believe. I
So-
should know which river, but
The Potomac?
maybe.
I'm not a geologist
Yeah.
or a cartographer. They make maps. It's okay, you can laugh. It's funny. I'm a funny person. You can laugh at my jokes.
okay.
What else do we have here about Lincoln? So he ate very little. His wife said that he often forgot about meals entirely. And when he did eat, his lunch often consisted of just a biscuit, fruit, and a glass of milk.
Wow. Huh. I'm really thinking about that one.
I guess that's why he was so thin, but he was also really tall.
He was also he was 6'4". He was our tallest president. And one of his secretaries said he ate less than anyone he knew.
Whoa.
Yeah. As a 6'4" man.
He's probably really busy.
Yeah, well,
No time for food.
He did love bacon, though, as well.
Bacon, oysters, biscuits, fruit.
Yeah.
it's all the good stuff.
Milk. Oh, and also...
Oh, milk. That reminds me.
Yes. So with his milk, sometimes he would eat gingerbread men. In fact, he gave a famous speech when he was running for senator in those debates against Stephen Douglas about how he made the best gingerbread men and how he liked gingerbread men more than anyone he knew. Yet he ate very little gingerbread men because he just ate so little in general. But he had a whole speech, and I sent a picture to AJ where he's holding a gingerbread man.
Is that what that was?
Photoshopped, but
Okay.
It's Photoshop.
I was wondering why you sent that to me.
So, where did this research come from?
online sources.
Anonymous sources.
Anonymous
Connor can't reveal his sources.
Yeah.
He's protecting them.
He kind of sounds like a politician, though, because you know how like politicians nowadays in debates, they'll say, "I'm the only one up here who did whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's like, "I'm the only one who eats this little amount," or "I'm the only one who likes gingerbread men." So maybe
I'm the only one who's the biggest fan of gingerbread men.
maybe that's where that started too.
So would he eat them when it wasn't Christmas? Because I equate gingerbread men with Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
As do I.
Was he such a fanatic that he would eat them in the summer?
I
In the
don't-
spring?
My sources didn't tell me about that.
What
He
about-
certainly ate them around Christmas. I don't know if he would eat them just in general.
What about February? Because I feel by February, all of the Christmas cookies have been eaten. Like, you could probably still have some left over in January.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was eating them in February, that would suggest that he was either making more or buying them.
Do you did they have Valentine's Day back then?
Yeah. Maybe.
I feel like maybe not.
No, they did.
Valentine's
AJ
Day?
had-
Saint Valentine?
Well, they had a Saint Valentine, but Valentine's Day, I feel like, isn't that?
No, I'm pretty sure Lincoln invented that as well. he came up with Valentine's. He used to write little notes to his wife, Mary Todd.
Mary Todd Lincoln.
Yeah, and Mary Todd would have a box that like in elementary school.
You're making this up.
No, this is for
I
real.
can't tell if you're making this up.
And he would do it every day of the year. And then eventually, becoming president, he just got so busy that he didn't have time to do it. So they picked out one day in February to do it, and it happened to be St. Valentine's birthday.
He didn't want to make it about
No.
himself.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
No.
true. Fun fact.
Do you want
No.
to hear what he had for breakfast?
You're making this up.
He also invented those candy hearts that you get
Okay.
on.
That have the little...
Yes.
He tried to make gingerbread
mine.
cookies the Valentine Day cookie of
Is that our
choice,
national
but-
food? The gingerbread man?
Lincoln tried to make it. Yeah. But
What
failed.
even is this conversation right
Do you want
now?
to hear what he had for breakfast?
Sure, today.
So for breakfast, in very Lincoln fashion, he apparently would have coffee and a single egg.
Was it hard boiled? This is important.
I don't know.
Yeah, how did Lincoln
How did
like
he
his
take
eggs?
his eggs?
That's a great question. With
Oh,
coffee, I guess.
That says a lot about people.
Yeah, I know the quantity. I don't know the preparation of the egg. But he also, this is a great quote from Lincoln. He loved corn cakes. This is the last food that I know about that he loved. But
So this is wrapping up the Lincoln.
I think so.
food.
I think we've talked about Lincoln a lot. So about corn cakes, he said he would devour them as quickly as 2 women could make them.
Why did it take 2 women?
I think it's suggesting
It's even
like
quicker.
like if there's 2 people preparing something, then it's gonna go faster. I don't well corn cake is like cornbread,
Yeah.
so I don't.
If it was 3 women, then you have that sort of diminishing returns, you know? So 2 is the peak amount for making corn cake.
Wait, explain this diminishing returns.
Well, I took an econ class, and I'm not going to take any more of them, but I learned that if you have too much of something, for example, workers, then eventually they will actually impede each other from doing the work, or at least the marginal,
Because it's
amount is going to be lower.
They're gonna produce X amount, and you have to pay them, right?
Well, also just like literally the space they're in and how efficiently they're going to work is going to decrease.
So if we had a
eventually.
4th person in here in the studio,
It would just be too much.
it would be too much.
Right. Like if we had 10 podcasters, then no one would want to listen because it's too many voices, it's confusing.
So let's do a recap of Lincoln. Give me the highlights of what we just discussed, because that was a lot and very tangential.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Tangential? Like when you go
tangential?
off on tangents?
I think it's like tangential. Or is it tangential?
I don't know.
I think it's like TIA, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Lincoln fun facts.
Lincoln fun facts. So he started his day. For breakfast, he would have coffee and a single egg, unknown how he would prepare it. For lunch, he would have just a biscuit, fruit, and a glass of milk. He would often forget about meals entirely, even though he was 6'4". He had to learn how to cook pretty well because his mother passed away at an early age. And he loved corn cakes. And he loved oysters so much that
There was a riot.
There was a riot over not having enough of them at his second inauguration after party.
You want to
He
know?
loved gingerbread men.
He loved gingerbread men, and he invented Valentine's Day.
He invented Valentine.
That one, actually, I made that one up. That
Yes.
wasn't true.
I know.
Oh.
What? You
I
believed
had
him?
no. I had Kathleen on the hook.
No.
I will give you a fun fact that is real, though. So there's a town in Illinois called Lincoln, and it was the only town to be named Lincoln before he became president, and he christened the town with watermelon juice.
Do you know which state's capital is Lincoln?
Nebraska.
Yes. Wow, you guys are good at state
Yeah.
capitals.
Thank you. I think there's 3 state capitals that have city in the name.
Oklahoma City,
Mexico City?
Jefferson City.
Yep. No to
Wait, what did she
Kathleen.
say?
Mexico City?
Well, that's Mexico City, Mexico.
Oh, not
Which-
New Mexico?
Carson City.
Carson City. Yep. It's Nevada.
Oh, my bad.
Connor, you were on a roll there. It's just a very like United States themed, presidential themed episode where anything and everything.
Except we don't know which river is near Washington, D.C.
I'm going to say Potomac.
Okay. Probably. Do you guys want to guess how much William Howard Taft weighed?
350.
At the time of death? Or just in. This is just
At the time of my notes. When he entered the office. When he entered office.
How much should you,
350.
I'm going to say 310.
AJ was closer. 314.
Ooh.
314 pounds.
It's a big guy.
So at that time, they didn't fully understand how obesity affected health. However, apparently someone said to William Howard Taft, no gentleman weighs more than 300 pounds. And so he actually, I would say fairly successfully, slimmed down at a certain point in his presidential, what do you call that? Not reign, because that's like a
Term?
Term. Yes, thank you. He lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
At one point in
That's
office.
pretty good.
Do you want to hear what he ate
Well,
to
I
lose those 60 pounds?
I already know what he ate.
I
Okay.
want to hear it.
Or in other words, what he drank. Slim Fast. William Howard Taft invented Slim Fast.
Is this an ad? Are we sponsored by them now?
No, I mean it's just a fact. It's just a fact of life. Is that true?
Slim Fast.
Fact check me.
I think maybe it was similar. He was instructed to drink, to start his day, instructed to drink hot water with lemon, slowly.
The early flavor of Slim Fast. They eventually got into chocolate and vanilla and all that,
Lemon.
but originally it was hot lemon water flavored.
He was also instructed to drink either tea or coffee unsweetened for both of those, so he would not have the Starbucks mocha that we so enjoy today, or at least I do. I'm trying to be more comfortable with my Starbucks drink, like you tell me to.
Well, because you've had it a couple times. I mean, you come in with Starbucks pretty often.
Yeah,
and you
I would
always
say
feel
about at least twice.
You always
twice
feel
a week.
so ashamed for drinking it, and you should just own
Why?
it.
You know what helped me a lot? I'll be really honest. David saying that he also likes mochas
Yeah.
really like boosted my
What's
Well,
wrong with
you're not-
mochas?
'cause you're not
self-esteem
alone.
about it. Yeah.
What's wrong with mochas?
Well, my friends at college would always make fun of me.
All right, these friends, the last time you were on here talking about how much grief they give you, and I know they're listening to this,
Yes,
Connor?
right now.
so they can make fun of you.
Connor,
Yes.
if they were really your friends, they wouldn't make fun of you. Wait, no, I make fun of my friends all the time.
Yeah, I do too.
So they're really your friends.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should try mocha too.
Some of them, you know what's annoying? I have this one friend, Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina.
Hi. Wait,
And she
I'm not Sabrina.
will make fun of me when we go to the Starbucks place at our school. It's called 815. We'll go to 815 together. And
Wait.
I'll order a mocha.
Is
Wait,
it a Starbucks or is it a coffee shop?
No, it's like it's Starbucks, but it's like called something different. It's like it's like sponsored by Starbucks or something. Like the cups have the logo
okay.
on them. I don't know.
Like they supply the coffee shop
Right.
with their product, but it's
Right.
not operated by Starbucks.
I think that's
Something.
the best way to
Anyway,
think about it. But we'll go there and I'll order a mocha, and then Sabrina will give me all this grief. It's,
yeah.
What
Whatever.
does she get?
And then she'll get a mocha, or sometimes she'll get a tuxedo mocha.
What is a
which,
tuxedo mocha?
As far as I understand, it's half white chocolate and half dark chocolate.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But she makes fun of me,
And then
she
orders
gets,
it?
like the same.
All right,
drink a lot
Connor,
of the
you
time.
own that mocha.
Thank you. I feel very empowered now.
Good. But William Howard Taft was not drinking mochas. He was
Correct.
just drinking black coffee and
Correct. Or
possibly black tea.
Right.
Or hot lemon.
Well, okay. What's the difference between black tea and green tea?
It's a different leaf.
Different leaves.
Okay.
And I think black tea generally has more caffeine.
It does. And green tea is better for your digestive health.
So which one's healthier? Green tea?
They're both very healthy, but green
Okay.
tea has better benefits, I think.
Antioxidants.
Yeah.
And like iced tea that you get at a restaurant, that's black tea.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke about Law and Order SVU, but it's okay.
Well, now I need to hear it.
Wait, yeah, I
No,
kind of want
it's
to hear
fine.
it.
For breakfast.
wait. What is
Well,
this?
Iced Tea acts on
Oh, yeah,
Law and
yeah.
Order SVU.
So you were going
I
to
was
say
going to attempt to make a connection there, but it's passed. So he wasn't concerned with gluten like we are now, because he was instructed to eat 2 or 3 gluten biscuits each morning. He also was able to drink sugarless wine.
what is sugarless wine?
I don't know how much sugar is currently in wine.
There's a lot of sugar in wine.
Smushed grapes.
Yeah, like no sugar added. Maybe
I have no idea.
that's going to be another episode. Sugarless wine. I'm very excited for this.
Taft, in the afternoon, was instructed to have tea without milk or sugar again. So a lot of tea and coffee. So think about that. So that's his whole morning, is just gluten biscuits, hot water with lemon, sugarless wine. Not a lot of food.
A sugarless wine for breakfast. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe. I don't
like
like
wine.
Yeah. I don't like the smell of wine.
I don't either.
But you like the taste of it?
I
would-
really don't like.
Connor has
you
never
wouldn't-
tasted
yeah, you
wine
wouldn't
before.
know.
Well, I've been
That
to
is the
church,
correct-
Oh,
communion.
okay. We'll give you that one.
And then for dinner, his largest meal of the day by far, he would have clear soup, 4 ounces of fish, 5 ounces of meat, of either pork or chicken or turkey, 8 ounces of vegetables, 4 ounces of steamed fruit, or no, stewed fruit? I can't read my own notes, but 4 ounces of fruit, and then plain salad and another gluten biscuit.
So he saved it all for dinner. So he starts his day with hot lemon and ends it with hot broth.
Yeah,
Clear
clear soup.
Clear broth.
So water. Because I mean,
Just take the lemon out, yeah.
I'm guessing they're like chicken noodle or something. Like that's a clear soup as opposed to like a creamy soup
Yeah.
or
Beef
like tomato.
broth.
So
Yeah.
not
Clear
a
technically.
chowder.
Not a chowder. Well, Manhattan chowder, Manhattan clam chowder.
Oh, I've never had Manhattan chowder. I've only had New England and Maryland.
Yeah, New England clam chowder is the best for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, Manhattan clam chowder is a vegetable based, so it has like a red broth.
Do you think that qualifies as clear?
Chicken noodle soup. I wouldn't say that's a clear. That's like opaque,
Right.
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
translucent.
wondering.
But
Like,
it's as
what is
close as you're
clear?
going to get, right?
I guess.
Maybe they just take the chunks out.
The chunky bits.
Yes. What was that from?
4 fat cows.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
He would also cheat a lot.
there's more.
He would also cheat a lot on his diet. So his favorite food was steak. Apparently, he would have a 12-ounce steak for breakfast most mornings.
Would he eat it with eggs?
One egg.
One
Wait,
egg.
I thought he
like
wasn't
that.
allowed to eat.
No, I'm kidding. He didn't have eggs.
No, I meant the steak.
No, you're right. You're
Well-
right.
So when he
everyone
did cheat on the
cheats, though.
diet,
It's
that's
a
what.
When he
it's a cheat
cheated.
day.
And apparently, he would often have steak 3 times a day when he was cheating on his diet.
So when
Go
he
big or go home.
when he fell off hard.
Yeah.
Correct. He also gained back, after he lost the 60 pounds, he gained back about 20 pounds.
Okay.
Which isn't,
Yeah,
net
that'll
loss
happen.
of 40 pounds. So he was a gentleman weight at that point, right? Under 300.
That's true, which is what he was really shooting for.
Yeah.
I like how it's that's such like an arbitrary number.
Yeah.
If you're under 300 pounds, you're a gentleman.
Yeah. Or I guess really more so that if you're over 300 pounds, you just are not a gentleman.
Yeah, you're what's the opposite of a gentleman? A dick?
So I have written here that his housekeeper said, in addition to eating steak for breakfast, he would also eat 2 oranges, buttered toast, and sweetened coffee when he cheated.
Come
Ooh,
on.
Which is not a
Sweetened.
terrible cheat, 2 oranges, buttered toast. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, but if you're adding that on top of the steak,
That was a steak, yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. He once came to Georgia. He came to Savannah, and he was very impressed by the cuisine here. He sang the praises of the grapefruit he had, the partridge, which are real birds,
As opposed
venison.
Did you just learn this in your research?
I mean, it's one of those things where like you hear it in the song,
to or the Partridge Family.
but I've never like had someone point out to me, "Oh, look at that partridge there."
Really? I have.
I don't think I've ever seen a partridge in the wild.
Yeah, exactly.
The zoo?
I don't think so. Do
If
they
you're,
have
go-
it at
if
the
you're
zoo?
going to
I
the
don't
zoo,
know.
are you looking for the partridges?
I'm looking for the owls.
Yeah.
They're near it.
They have a bald eagle there too at Zoo Atlanta.
I only care about the owls.
Are we sponsored by Zoo Atlanta?
Now we are.
Sure.
Come check out the pandas.
He also loved the venison in Savannah.
Have you ever had venison?
Once. Yeah, I have a buddy who hunts, and he made summer sausage once, which was very good.
What is venison?
Deer.
Deer.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I love deer, by the way. Like the animal, not the meat.
Cool.
Side note. He also loved the waffles he had here with maple syrup. I wonder if he had chicken and waffles.
Maybe.
Probably not.
That's a
yet.
southern staple.
Did you know that Bantam and Biddy closed at Avalon?
Yeah, it's now a barbecue place. I was shocked.
Bantam and Biddy has chicken and waffles.
Oh, really?
So there's another place in Decatur, the Square Pub.
Okay.
It's on the square, and they have chicken and waffle tacos, or they did. I haven't been there in a while. Hopefully they still do, but it's a tortilla, like a flour tortilla, and then they have cut up Eggo waffles and cut up buffalo chicken. And they put it in the
Oh,
tortilla
man.
and then smother it in maple syrup.
So it's a soft shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I assumed it was like the waffle was the taco.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was mistaken. But if you're ever in Decatur and in the mood for something different,
So Taft like waffles.
yeah.
Yes.
Back
and-
to Taft.
And hot rolls and bacon. So 2 out of 3 presidents so far like bacon.
Any other notes on Taft?
I think that's all I have.
Was there anything about him getting stuck in the bathtub?
Okay, so what I have read is that a butler wrote a tell-all after
Ooh.
Taft was out of office
Do tell.
that said he got stuck in the bathtub, but there are no other sources to confirm this.
Just
so
this
it's
butler.
possible this butler wanted to sell some books, is my
He had an ulterior
estimation.
motive.
Right. Because they
Wow.
did get new bathtubs when Taft entered the White House, but that was because he
was-
requested larger bathtubs
Was
because
that-
he is a large man, was a large man.
Was the White House in D.C. at that time? Do you know?
I think it was, because this is the 19-teens, around there. Very early 1900s.
Sure. Well, we have one more president to tackle,
We have one more president.
but before we do that, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Julia, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of the newest podcasts to join the Appen Media Group family, Myth Roast. Myth Roast is a comedy podcast about all things myth, or myth adjacent. I'm talking Zeus, Thor, Mothman, Icarus, Nessie, Frankenstein. You get the idea. Join me and my co-host Lauren every other Wednesday as we give not-so-serious retellings of our favorite myths, because those who don't know their myths are doomed to repeat them. Myth Roast is available on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We don't judge. And be sure to check us out on Twitter at Myth Roast.
Hello, everyone. This is Joe Parker, resident sports reporter here with Appen Media, and if you can't tell by the name, host of Overtime with Joe Parker. Join me each episode as I discuss high school sports in North Atlanta and sit down with local players and coaches to give you an in-depth look into North Fulton and Forsyth County sports teams. Also tune in for weekly updates on the scores, big games, and headlines for each week throughout the high school sports season. Tune in at northfulton.com, iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Hello, I'm Carson Cook, and I'm the host of Pod with the Wind, Appen Media Group's newest podcast. From Gone with the Wind to The Avengers, I'll be taking a look at some of the most iconic films produced in Georgia. I'll also be interviewing local filmmakers to understand what it's like to work in the Hollywood of the South. Look out for Pod with the Wind at northfulton.com/podcast and on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
Putting the ooh back in food.
Connor
Lunch
knows
break.
it.
Lunch break.
Connor's got it down.
The ooh.
The ooh.
The ooh.
Not
Yeah.
the you.
The ooh back in food.
It's just
You
so
know when
funny.
you eat a steak at 8 in the morning and you go, ooh.
Yes, I do know that.
Do you know who the biggest seller of steaks is in America?
Waffle House.
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Waffle House.
I did not know that. I was going to say like a steakhouse, like Longhorn or something.
Maybe because it's cheap.
Yep. I think that's why. And it's always open.
Yeah.
Which is why teenagers go there.
How do you guys eat your eggs?
Over medium or scrambled.
Scrambled.
Over easy.
I don't like omelets. Too much egg.
Yeah. I don't like hard-boiled eggs, which is why I would not participate in
They
the
smell bad.
Deviled egg off.
deviled egg off. Yeah.
I like hard-boiled eggs. I have one for a snack today. So.
I like deviled
Ew.
eggs, but not hard boiled.
Because it has all the extra stuff on it?
Yeah, I like the extra goodies on it.
Sure. Speaking of eggs, does Barack Obama enjoy eggs?
In fact, he would eat
that's a good
4
one.
to 6 eggs each morning.
Holy cow.
4 to 6 eggs.
When I have eggs in the morning, like sometimes I generally don't eat breakfast, but if I do, I'll have like an egg and a piece of toast.
So you're like Lincoln.
I'm like Lincoln.
And for those who haven't met AJ, he's a fairly tall, thin man.
Thank you.
Like Lincoln.
Like Lincoln. And I have a
AJ
scraggly
is
beard.
just, yeah. AJ
I've
is
seen you wear
just
the
like
same
Lincoln.
hat too.
I don't have a top hat. I would wear it though, probably,
You probably would, yes.
and keep my notes in it. That's what he did. Did you know that? That's true. That's for real.
I don't
that
know what
one
I believe.
I may have been spreading rumors about him inventing Valentine's Day, but Lincoln did keep letters in his hat. Notes. Speeches. Anyway.
I was trying to think of more ways that you're like Lincoln, but I can't think of any. Where are
That's
you
it.
from?
Illinois.
So you guys are you're kind of sort of from the same state.
Maybe you're related.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of look like him.
Do I?
We should post a picture of AJ on like the website.
On Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out our Instagram
And then-
page and vote if I look like
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Set up a poll.
Yeah.
Is AJ McNaughton secretly Abraham Lincoln?
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
So
So
Obama liked eggs.
Brock would
Brock
eat 4 to
loved-
6 eggs.
He loved
I like eggs. I can get with that.
He would also eat potatoes and wheat toast for breakfast. He was a pretty
sure-
healthy man.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of that was Michelle.
Maybe.
Well, because Michelle had that whole
The Fit in America thing. Or whatever.
making the
She
kids.
got rid of us being able to sell, or like the band being able to sell chicken, or like Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches in the morning, or the chicken biscuits in the morning, which I was pretty annoyed by. Because if you're running late,
Yeah.
you didn't have breakfast, you could just buy, a $3
Chick-fil-A.
chicken biscuit.
Did they have something to substitute it?
No. And it helps support the band for them to be able to sell these.
Well, I would think
biscuits
if like they were selling yogurt parfaits maybe instead of the chicken biscuit.
Those have so much sugar.
Okay, so maybe like
Egg whites on an English muffin.
Sure. Well,
That's what I get from
Yes, the
Chick-fil-A.
band. The band was going to prepare egg whites on an English muffin.
yeah.
No, Chick-fil-A was.
Okay, well, I mean, they go there and buy it and then bring it to the school.
When I was in high school, I think my freshman year, you were able to buy pop or soda or Coke or whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it
we
throughout the
couldn't
day.
buy Coke anymore.
And then you could buy it before or after school, but the machines would like be locked during school hours.
We had vending machines, but it was all like diet or like zero. It's
Yeah.
like Sprite Zero, Coke 0. There wasn't any normal Coke.
Thanks, Obama.
Michelle Obama.
Well, she's still an Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, he's a pretty healthy guy. I mean, you've seen him. He's pretty thin.
You've seen him.
I'm assuming
From time to time.
I'm assuming everyone's familiar with what Barack Obama looks like. He avoids sugar, carbs, fat, and soda, like you're talking about. He wouldn't drink coffee in the morning. Instead, he would opt for orange juice, green tea, or water.
Orange juice is also not very good for you.
No.
Because they put a lot of sugar in that.
Yeah.
Vitamin C, though.
Orange juice with pulp?
Ew.
I like a little bit of pulp. I don't like it.
No
if there's
chunks.
no pulp, it kind of freaks me out.
I like to feel like strands of
Ew,
the
like,
orange going down my throat.
Gross. Ew.
Is Barack a pulp guy or a non-pulp? It doesn't say.
I don't know. Do you want to hear what he would eat when he would sort of cheat on this diet?
Yes.
He loves burgers. He once famously or infamously asked for Dijon mustard. I don't know if you heard about this, but he once asked for Dijon mustard at a burger joint, and Fox News just destroyed him for it, as they should.
Because
I mean, how dare he?
because you need to have yellow mustard.
How dare he be so disconnected from the people to think that a McDonald's would have Dijon mustard?
What is that the spicy mustard?
Yes.
Oh, I eat my burgers with that too.
So you're just like Barack. We
I
have
am.
AJ's just like Abe Lincoln.
I also don't drink coffee.
There you go. I guess I'm like Taft then.
By default.
By default. What else do we have on here? He loves chocolate. It's another guilty pleasure of his. His favorite place is the Seattle-based Franz Chocolate, and his favorite candy dish, whatever, from there is the smoked salt caramels in milk chocolate. Sounds pretty tasty.
It does sound tasty. That reminds me of a place in Asheville. I like to visit Asheville. Have I
You
talked
know a
about
lot
this?
of places.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a man of the world. What can I say? But there is...
Like Decatur, foreign places.
Well, I used to live in Decatur.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a hot minute. But there's a place in Asheville called French Broad Chocolate Factory, and they have different truffles and whatnot. And I don't know that they have... Well, they probably have like a sea salt caramel, but they also have... One of my favorites is the raspberry, because it's got like a little dusting of raspberry on top. And they have like a little store that you can go and order. They have different desserts, cakes, and brownies and cookies. You can order wine and beer. Now, well, Connor can't because
I can't.
He's not of age yet.
I could serve it.
You could. Well, I don't know. North Carolina
Oh, I
laws
would have
might
to
be
get-
different.
Yeah, I have to get a pouring license in North Carolina. And Barack Obama's favorite foods are, drumroll please.
I'm going to say, can I guess?
Sure.
Is one of them barbecue?
No.
Okay.
Bacon.
No, surprisingly.
Eggs.
No, he does eat them, but it's
Okay.
not listed under his favorite.
I'll do one more guess.
Yes.
Pizza.
No.
Well, I'm out.
In my opinion, these are very boring favorite foods. Are you ready?
Yes.
Trail mix. Roasted almonds. Pistachios.
Okay.
Yeah.
Denton ice gum.
Well,
Dentine ice? Denton ice?
no, I think it's
Dentine?
Dentine ice is
Dentine.
cooler than ice. That was the slogan, right?
Maybe.
Was
Ice
he
is
sponsored
cooler
by
than-
them?
No, but
Say
it's
that was
the
his
brand
favorite?
name is here. Met, like METRX, chocolate roasted peanut protein bars.
He really likes
Come on, Brock.
One of his favorite.
So
foods.
I think this is like him saying, "Oh yeah, these are all my favorite foods, and they're all these really healthy foods." Just so he
Well, do you want to
seems
hear the
better.
last two?
Yeah.
Yes.
Spinach and broccoli.
Yeah. Okay. No, those are not true. It's like Michelle went up to Brock and was like, "Brock, you need to put out what your favorite foods are, and make sure that you put the good foods on there."
Yeah.
So he's like crossing off pizza, cheeseburgers.
None of the salted caramel
Yeah.
chocolate.
I don't believe that.
I like spinach.
I like broccoli. I don't really like spinach.
I don't mind spinach. I like broccoli. There are foods that I like that are vegetables and healthy for me.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. But I'm just as good as Barack. But I wouldn't say that they're my favorite foods.
I don't know. I would say bell peppers are one of my favorite foods.
Do
I
you
eat
need-
a lot?
But would it just be bell peppers by themselves, or do you need a dip with them?
Oh no, I eat it by myself. By
By myself and by themselves.
Just an
it's a
evening
one-on-one
with
thing.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and the bell peppers.
What's your least favorite vegetable, Kathleen?
mushrooms and tomatoes? I will not
I
eat them.
hate mushrooms. Oh, those are two of my least favorite foods.
I will
actually.
not
Both of
eat
those.
them.
Those,
And
those
I
are
hate
actually
mushrooms.
my favorite vegetables.
What's
A
your
lot of
least
people
favorite
like 'em.
vegetable?
Oh, green beans.
oh, I eat green beans
love green
every
beans.
day.
See, we're like the opposite.
Me and Kathleen are really
Yeah.
on the same.
Green beans
wavelength.
might be one of my favorite foods. I eat them
Same.
almost every day.
Well, that's a big point of contention. I wouldn't say point of contention, but a big debate over dinners
Streitpunkt.
between Kimber and I, because she loves green beans and it is like I cannot eat them.
Wow.
Like if they were put in, if it was the only food like in the world, I would starve to death.
No matter how they're prepared, because there's a lot of different ways to prepare.
Yeah,
green beans. There's
I mean-
the flat ones. There's the long ones.
yes.
Maybe if there's a different way, maybe I've only ever had them steamed.
That's kind of a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the most common,
Yeah.
like steamed or can you bake them?
Actually, I
know.
learned this summer that you can, because my mom learned this new recipe where she would put I guess oil on a
Baking sheet?
on a baking sheet and put them in the oven for a little while, and it turned out really nicely. So
That sounds good.
you could try it.
Maybe I just need to give it another go.
I don't know. I love green beans though.
Yeah.
It's my side of choice.
Yeah.
Like when it would just be my dad and I at home, and he'd be like, "All right, what are we doing for dinner?" We would usually just barbecue some chicken and then get some green
Always
beans.
green beans. Yeah.
Yep.
I had a really bad experience with green beans, which is why I don't eat them
Did you
anymore.
throw them up?
Yes.
That's why I don't eat mushrooms.
Yeah, there's a story that I like to tell that my mom loves when I tell it, because I preface it by saying there was this one time that my mom poisoned me because there was this leftover, beef sandwiches, like Italian beef.
Like
It's
Arby's?
Similar.
Okay.
It's a common thing in Chicago. I mean, it's like a piece of French bread, and then you put the Italian beef in it. Anyway, there was leftovers of that and green beans, and I had it. I was the only one that had it for dinner, and then I was up the entire night throwing up and dry heaving. So I didn't go to school the next day.
How old were you?
High school, like junior in high school, something
Okay.
like that. So it's been a while since I've had either Italian beef
Yeah.
or green beans,
That'll do it.
since my mom poisoned me.
Do you want to know Barack Obama's favorite homemade recipe that him and Michelle have?
Yes.
It is a chili. They make it turkey or beef based. They put red wine vinegar in there, some turmeric.
Turmeric. It's a spice.
Yes. Basil, kidney beans, onions, peppers over rice, and that is their
Just kidney beans.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of different chilies have like
Multiple. Yeah.
navy beans,
Black beans.
black beans, pinto beans.
I don't really like chili. Every time I eat
Yeah.
chili, I throw it up. I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too many beans.
There's a big chili
Well,
competition
I
held
don't
every
know.
year in my neighborhood park. You know, Willow Springs Park? They have the big chili contest that my parents always go to.
Do they win?
Oh, no, they don't participate. They eat.
So they participate in
Right.
in the form of
Yes.
eating, not in
They
the
don't.
form of preparing.
Right. They don't produce it. They just
Fun.
judge. He also has a lifetime membership to the American Home Brewers Association. He has 2 different beers, the White House Honey Ale and the White House Honey Porter.
So he's big into honey.
Yes, and the White House.
Wait, how is he affiliated with the White House?
He once lived there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
In the Honey Ale, it contains a biscuit malt, gypsum, and honey, obviously. The porter has a black malt, chocolate malt, and honey. So he seems to have a little sweet tooth for chocolate
And honey.
and honey. Do you want to hear his least favorite foods?
Yes.
Pizza, burgers,
French fries.
French fries.
Potato chips. No. Well, actually, one of his least favorite foods is salt and vinegar chips.
That is a lie.
They're so good.
I love salt and vinegar chips. I can see them being divisive, though.
yeah, I could
It's
see.
a strong flavor. Mayo,
Oh, I don't like mayo.
soda. He's wearing off all soda. That's my sweet tooth, to be honest. Like if I'm bartending, I will usually pour myself a glass of Coke.
Do you ever make a Shirley Temple?
Actually, last summer I made a lot of Shirley Temples for myself.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Have you ever had a Roy Rogers?
No,
So it's the same concept, but with Coke instead of Sprite.
so it's like a cherry Coke.
Yeah.
I'll try that.
But
this
it's
weekend.
it's more fun to say Roy Rogers
right.
Yeah.
than Cherry Coke.
Although, I thought you were going to say then Shirley Temple, and I was going to say Dirty Shirley's fun.
Is that
That's
just
with vodka.
So like a John Daly is like that with
And Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer. He also hates a food that I also just despise. It is a vegetable. Do you guys want to guess?
Asparagus?
Yes.
I love
Oh, I like
asparagus.
That is
I was gonna
one of my least that I feel about the asparagus how you feel about green beans.
Sure.
I haven't thrown up asparagus,
but still
I
have a
hate it.
disdain for it.
it's not good. I don't understand why people eat it.
It's one of
So
my
good.
it's one of my favorite
No,
vegetables.
but it tastes bad.
It doesn't need any toppings or anything. You can just eat it. Sometimes when we're cooking it, we eat it like out of the pan. We don't even make it to the plate. It's so good.
Makes your pee smell weird too.
It does.
That would be a good episode. Why does asparagus make your pee smell weird?
And
does
how
it?
many bites? I read that one time. How many bites of asparagus does it take to make your pee smell?
Do you want to hear which country's cuisine he also slandered once on the campaign trail?
I'm gonna say
Oh.
it must have been political. Saudi Arabia,
No.
Canada,
I'll give you a hint. They are an ally.
Mexico,
No.
Who?
the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay.
English cuisine.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Well-
he doesn't like English cuisine.
I think don't they put a lot of vinegar, like
Oh,
fish
yeah.
and chips. They put the malt
Right.
vinegar on it. And
he
if he
doesn't
doesn't
like
like salt and vinegar chips, one would draw the conclusion. So it sounds like he's not a fan of strong flavors,
I think of the salted caramel thing as being a strong flavor, kind of.
but it's also sweet.
it is sweet.
Because I'm a big fan of onion and blue cheese and anything with vinegar on it. Sauerkraut.
I'm with you except for blue cheese.
Yeah.
That's about all I have for Barack, former President Obama.
Do you want to talk about our current president, Donald Trump?
I don't know what he eats, but
No.
I do know that he is in perfect health, according to his doctor.
Well, I did read an article that he is switching his diet and eating a lot more soups and salads.
That's
recently.
Clear soup.
Possibly. He could be possibly drinking clear soups.
Consuming.
Yeah.
The broth. Ooh.
One of the other things that I did read was he is obsessed with Diet Coke. Like he doesn't drink coffee or tea, or I guess he doesn't drink alcohol either. But he'll drink 12 Diet Cokes a day.
Wow.
That's what this Business Insider said.
Even if it was half that, like 6 is a lot for a day. don't
I
you
guess.
think?
Wow.
It's a
My
lot of Diet
stomach
Coke.
hurts if I like soda, but if I have like more than 2,
Yeah.
my stomach hurts.
I guess he's immune to it.
Yeah, built up the thing. Do you have a sweet tooth drink, AJ?
I love Dr. Pepper.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper is my favorite.
I like
Yeah.
Diet Coke. Diet Coke or Cherry Coke Zero.
I remember when I was a
my
kid,
favorite.
I used to go to Burger King on Thursdays with my grandma
Hmm.
after preschool, and they didn't at the time, or the Burger King that we went to didn't have Dr. Pepper.
Mr.
They-
Pibb?
No, they had. I forget what I think it was Coke, but they also had RC, which is essentially Coke. But my grandma always told me that, oh, this is just like Dr. Pepper, just get RC. And I was always very disappointed when it wasn't.
That's how I feel about Pepsi.
Yeah. No, Pepsi's gross.
I won't drink it.
I
I'll
can't-
just say,
no.
never mind, I'll take water.
Yeah.
I had to drink it in Wyoming because I wanted a soda and they didn't have any Coke products there.
Nope.
So I had to take the Pepsi. It's
You drink hot lemon.
drinkable. Yeah, hot lemon water.
Please give me some hot lemon water. That is far superior to Pepsi.
It is, though. Pepsi's nasty.
Yeah. Well, Connor, this has been a very informative episode.
Thank
a
you.
very presidential episode.
I did even more research than last time.
No, you did a good job. So we covered Lincoln, Taft, Obama, and then touched on
Touched on Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. So we did talk about Washington for a
In Washington.
brief second.
So is this you announcing your candidacy for
20?
No, in fact, my mom
2040.
always wanted
Maybe.
me to run for class president, and I had zero desire to do that, so I never did.
Well, Connor, thanks again for joining us on the show,
being an intern,
being an intern with App and Media Group,
sticking with us.
writing your stories.
Thank you for having me. It's been a really good summer in terms of experience. You guys have let me do a lot of stuff, and I wasn't sure.
That was the goal.
Well, I wasn't sure how much real reporting I would be able to do. So
But you did a lot of real reporting.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I got hate mail. I went through that. I covered a
still
lot of
getting it.
charities, which I thought was really cool. Learned about my community. Experienced a lot of vocal people from the community, which was cool. At commissioners' meetings and town halls and everything. So, yeah, it's been good. I mean, it's been a really
Good.
good experience.
Good. Okay. Well,
I was sorry. You're laughing at me like I can't be,
yeah.
like I can't look fondly back at this time. I know AJ's ready to get rid of me, but
yeah. No, not really.
was I an okay intern?
You were very good.
You were very okay.
Like,
Top 5 that I've
Yeah.
ever overseen.
and you've seen how many? Like
at least
5?
6.
No, like 30.
Yeah, there's been a
Oh,
lot.
really?
Yeah.
Wait, when did you start working here?
2014.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Lunch Break.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Go eat a steak.
And stay hungry.
Or don't, and then you'll be a president.
Eat 12 steaks in a day.
Or eat almost nothing.
That episode was tasty.